jumping back into movie night Mondays with my friends, and I'm very excited. It's something that I haven't been to in weeks and weeks. I think since I got out of treatment this last time, I haven't been. So I'm excited about that. I had a lot of anxieties about doing social things. It's still very difficult for me to kind of branch out of my comfort zone, but this literally couldn't be more low pressure. It's literally just showing up and watching a movie, so I appreciate that a lot. We always put it to a vote, so I never, nobody ever knows what the movie is we're watching until we put it to a vote and sit down and watch it. So it could be something crazy, like some crazy slasher film. It could be some old cheesy western, could be a superhero movie, could be an animated thing. It could be anything. So yeah, we'll see what it is tonight. I'm excited and I feel very motivated to start doing these things again and start putting myself out there more. So I'm sure it'll go well, and it'll be a nice way to spend my day off. Just got done with movie night. It was a fun time. I'm weirdly exhausted, even though I haven't done that much today. But I'm still glad I went. We watched some crazy Godzilla movie. It wasn't like an OG Godzilla. It was like a different take on Godzilla. But it was fun. We had a fun time. And I'm proud of myself for going. Something that's been on my mind a bit recently has been just kind of about the language with which we talk about eating disorders. And I just kind of wanted to make it clear that there's no eating disorder that's not restrictive. They all make your world so small, like regardless of whether it's anorexia, bulimia, binge eating disorder, etc., orthorexia, compulsive eating. None of it is not restrictive. And I just want to make that really clear. Like, it doesn't matter what your body size or body shape or eating patterns are. If you have an eating disorder, then full stop, that's reason enough to recover. Nobody is not deserving of recovery. It makes me so mad when health professionals have the nerve to say that somebody needs to lose weight, or that all their problems are because they're overweight. Like, most of the time that shit is just arbitrary. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with their health. Sometimes it does. Sometimes very, very select few of the times it actually has bearings on what your problem is. But I mean, you'll go in there with a sore throat and then they'll tell you, oh, you need to lose weight. And that's why we have such a pervasive presence of eating disorders in this society. Or that's one of the reasons why. And it just makes me so mad. Because you don't have to be thin and white and frail and bony in order to deserve help. Like, everyone who experiences disordered eating needs to recover from that and needs to rewire their brain from that. And I don't know, I just hate the dichotomy of restrictive eating disorders and non-restrictive eating disorders. Like, they are all restrictive, and I hope that we can remove some of the stigma. There's already stigma there there's already stigma enough of like what an eating disorder is, and like it gets overly simplified into this thing of like, oh, they just don't eat. But it's so much more than that. It's so much more complicated than that. And on the opposite side, it's like the problem isn't that they're eating too much. It's that's the negative coping skill. That's the negative coping mechanism that they've learned to deal with whatever it is that's inside of them, whatever shame that lies there. That doesn't need to be watered down into this thing of weight all the time. It doesn't matter what a person's weight is. You can be malnourished at any state. Yeah, I just wanted to make that clear because it's a whole process to even be diagnosed properly. But when you're diagnosed, then there's like, okay, is this diagnosis going to be taken seriously? Am I going to be shamed either way because of this diagnosis? Am I going to be taken seriously? What are professionals going to say about my weight fluctuations? It's like, you have to worry, even after your diagnosis, you have to worry about all of that stuff. And it's just so difficult sometimes to hear and to deal with. And I don't know. I mean, my heart reaches out to anybody that's going through this experience, regardless of what their diagnosis is. Like, you deserve help. You deserve help. And it's not easy to do it alone. Sometimes it's impossible to do it alone. I certainly can't do it alone. And I just wanted to vocalize that because there can be such stigma around seeking the help that you need. And because you're so worried about being told that you don't need the help, or be told that you're not sick enough. Also, if you've never read Sick Enough, I highly recommend that you read it. It's a very, very difficult read. A lot of stuff will come up, so maybe make sure you're in the right headspace. But it doesn't matter if somebody says that you're overweight. If you are sick enough, if you're restricting yourself, and it doesn't matter what area of your life you're restricting yourself in. It could be social, it could be food-wise, it could be movement-wise, it could be connection-wise, financial, education. It could be any of those and more. If you feel restricted in that way, then you deserve help. And yeah, I just wanted to make that really clear before it kind of left my brain, and before I stopped getting so fired up about that. But anyway, I hope everybody has a good day.